It looks like these poltergeists waited until the very last second to finish their group project. Published by Amar Ajola in September 2014, this eerie footage captures chilling paranormal activity inside a computer lab. In Delhi's Karkardoma court, a lone man sits quietly in the room, his camera pointed at the computers, almost as if he's expecting something, and then it begins. One monitor flickers to life, then another and another. Each screen turns on by itself, one after the other, as if an invisible presence is moving through the room. There's no one else inside, no footsteps, no movement, just the unsettling glow of monitors waking up on their own. Some claim it's a prank done with remote activation. Others believe a ghostly programmer is still trying to finish unfinished work. Adding to the mystery, viewers have pointed out strange orbs drifting across the frame. Are these the entities responsible? From the look of this footage, it sure feels like something is there. A YouTuber named Chloe Constance visits the notoriously haunted Morton Corbett Castle in England. To test whether anything is lurking nearby, she starts with a simple request. If any spirits are here, make the candle flicker. And sure enough, the candle does flicker. But here's the strange part. The timing feels off. The clip looks like it may have been cut, so it's hard to tell how long it actually took for the flame to react. Then things escalate. Chloe asks the spirit to make a sound, and, the moment she says it, a pink object shoots past the camera. It almost resembles a hand. But whose? Only the camera operator is close enough to make that motion, so yes, it could have been theirs. But nothing is certain. What's harder to explain is what happens a split second earlier. If you slow the footage down and look to the left side of the frame, a bright white flash of light appears right as Chloe finishes her request. If you focus on her sister's pink sleeve, you'll spot it. Real or not, the reaction from the group says everything. They instantly look overwhelmed, uncomfortable, and they decide to end the investigation early. This one's easy to miss, but once you spot it, the payoff is chilling. A YouTuber named Past is exploring an abandoned property in Nottingham, documenting every eerie corner. Focus on the very last window in this clip. Even then, you might not see it at first. Here, it is again. This time, with the paranormal moment highlighted. Something large moves quickly across the final window. But here's the disturbing part. That window faces the outside, and it's 2 floors above the ground. With that in mind, what exactly could be moving up there? A strange white mist floating through a cluttered living room in San Francisco has the YouTube community calling it paranormal. Whatever this thing is, it drifts toward the light, and then suddenly vanishes. I've watched countless paranormal CCTV clips, and I've never seen anything move quite like this. It can't be dust. The mist has 2 connected parts that move together, almost like a single entity. So what do you think? A genuine ghost, or something else entirely? It's 1:30 in the morning, and David Oman is still working in his home office when he suddenly gets the feeling he isn't alone. He checks his CCTV system and catches something unsettling. A shadowy figure glides past the camera for a split second. David immediately archives the footage and uploads it to YouTube. The shadow appears transparent and moves far too fast to be a normal person. The clip almost looks like it's been sped up to create a ghostly effect. But if this is the real, unedited speed, then I honestly don't know what else it could be besides a paranormal intrusion. A ghost hunter doesn't even have time to finish setting up his equipment before something strange appears on camera. Watch how fast this shadow shoots across the room. It moves far too quickly, and it even turns in the opposite direction he does, which means it can't be his own shadow. Here's the same moment from a second angle, captured by his handheld camera. Whatever this shadow is, it's clearly coming from something off camera. But whether that something is human or something else entirely is up to you to decide. In 2009, a paranormal research team was called to investigate a wave of ghost sightings at a cemetery in Tampa Bay. For weeks, nothing happened, until they reviewed their surveillance footage and found something unsettling hiding in the darkness. The first clip shows a strange, glowing light drifting behind a grave marker. Whatever this thing is, it isn't close to the camera. It slides behind the fence, almost as if it knows exactly where to go. That rules out bugs. That rules out dust. And if it isn't edited, then something was actually moving through the cemetery that night. They kept their cameras rolling for 3 more weeks, waiting for the thing to return. And when it finally did, it came back in a different form. A dark shadow glides across the screen, silent, quick, and almost human-shaped. It appears at the exact moment a car drives by, which would normally explain everything, except the movement looks too deliberate, too controlled. If it isn't just the headlights creating an illusion, then this might be one of the closest encounters this team has ever captured on camera. Ghost towns are abandoned for a reason. Some places are simply better left alone. In May of 2020, YouTuber Ricky Velasquez uploaded a video that proves exactly why. According to Ricky, El Diablo himself appeared that night. He later said, "The devil wrote in Spanish. I have no words for what happened. I don't think I'll ever forget it." And after seeing the footage, you'll understand why. This took place in a nearly abandoned town in Mexico with barely 250 residents, a place locals already treat like a ghost town. Ricky and his friend decided to explore it anyway, and their investigation is enough to make anyone turn back. After performing some kind of ritual in a dusty yard, spraying liquid, lighting small fires, and muttering words they never explain, the pair begins wandering through the ruins. The cameraman switches to infrared mode to get a better look at the surroundings, and that's when he sees something. A shape, a presence, something standing where nothing should be. His breath catches. He immediately backs away, turning down a dirt path trying to get out before whatever he saw gets closer. But then he runs into this. Something so twisted and impossible that he freezes where he stands. El Diablo vanishes as quickly as he appeared. But you can still feel him lurking in the empty streets, watching, waiting. It's no wonder Ricky says he'll never forget that night. Moral of the story: if you call him, he will come. This family is living with constant paranormal activity, and this short clip from the YouTube channel Paranormal Encounters Shorts is only a tiny glimpse of what they've been dealing with. Listen closely.
What is that?
No, stop. Stop.
Okay, let me go see what
Stop. Really?
Oh my god.
Stop. It's silverware.
Something is moving in that house. One of the investigators thinks he recognizes the sound, silverware. But if that's really what we're hearing, then the real question is, who's clattering it? Whoever or whatever is banging around in this home sounds impatient, almost angry, like it's tired of being ignored. Every metallic crash feels closer, sharper, more deliberate. It doesn't sound like a random noise. It sounds like a warning. At this point, I think it's time to get this entire house blessed, because whatever is inside clearly wants their attention, and it's not asking nicely anymore. Things aren't always what they seem. The YouTube channel Rootstown Paranormal shared this security footage from a gas station in Wadsworth, Ohio, and at first glance, it looks like something straight out of a haunting. Watch the garbage cans. Every single one of them shifts to the right at the exact same moment, almost like they were pushed by an invisible force. But how does something like that happen? If you look closely, especially near the end of the clip, the timing feels off. The footage looks like it might have been sped up. Keep your eyes on the truck bed. The bottom right corner of the tarp twitches in a way that doesn't feel natural, almost like the video is playing just a little too fast. To me, that suggests a strong gust of wind could have moved the trash cans, just not as quickly or as dramatically as this clip makes it appear. But what do you think? Natural wind or something else making itself known? William Davies has been documenting the paranormal activity in his bedroom for a long time. But on January 25th, 2014, he finally captures something that convinces even him that his room is truly haunted. It starts with a chilling, unexpected EVP, something whispering back at him when no one else is there. Moments later, he records a full-on, hands-on encounter, like something is reaching out from the darkness to make itself known. 6 months pass, and the activity only gets worse. William keeps hearing noises all around his room, sometimes late at night, sometimes in broad daylight. It sounds like someone invisible pacing, watching, waiting. Then objects start falling off his shelves right in front of him. He's standing in plain sight with nowhere to hide a string. Could he be faking it? Maybe, but I don't see any evidence of that. Do you? 4 months later, things escalate again. His pantry cupboard refuses to stay shut, but only for one night. And if you listen carefully at the 2-minute and 49-second mark, you can hear a woman's voice cry out right before the door swings open, as if something is warning him, or trying to get his attention. The more William tries to deny what's happening, the harder the ghost seems to push back, literally forcing the door open as though it refuses to be ignored any longer.
There's a lot of history here. Keep hearing what sounds like someone like whispering to somebody on down. This is not like your regular staircase. It's just not like where you can look directly all the way to the first floor. It's a creepy place.
A man already knows his apartment building has a ghost lurking in the stairwell.
A few weeks, even the past year, a couple of years, there's been 5 or 6 deaths, a few unexplained, a couple of overdoses.
One night, he nods politely at someone heading downstairs. Just a normal moment, or so he thinks. But then time passes. Too much time. He realizes something is wrong. He saw someone walk in. He heard their footsteps going down the stairs. And yet, nobody ever comes out. The only thing he gets in return are strange noises echoing up from the darkness below.
An abandoned stairwell? I don't know, but I do know that creepy things have been happening here.
6 months later, he posts an update, and he looks like a completely different person. More cautious, more drained, like those months have been anything but peaceful. And this is where things take a very creepy turn. The door he just walked through is suddenly wide open behind him. Downstairs, the darkened stairwell shifts, like the shadows are clearing on their own. When he goes to the exact spot where the shadow figure supposedly stood, there's nothing. Just cold air and an empty staircase that feels watched. Here it is again, zoomed in at the 22-second mark. I think I see a small figure, but I can't tell if it's paranormal or just my imagination trying to fill in the void. What do you see? Paranormal or pareidolia? This poltergeist looks like it decided to help itself to a sandwich, so let's see how well it did. At first glance, it genuinely looks like something unseen is rummaging around the kitchen, objects shifting, cabinet doors moving, everything you'd expect from a hungry spirit looking for an afternoon snack. For a moment, it almost feels believable, but there's no need to speculate on this one. The YouTuber openly admits in the description that the video is fake. Still, even knowing that, the clip is surprisingly creepy and honestly pretty entertaining. Sometimes the best scares are the ones that pretend to be real. Crazy George's Bridge is one of Tennessee's most notoriously haunted locations, a place wrapped in folklore, tragedy, and more than a few ominous warnings. The bridge overlooks the same railroad tracks where a man named George once wandered to his death. Locals say his spirit never left. They claim that if you say his name 3 times, George will come for you, angry, fast, and determined to chase you off his bridge. Some say strange rituals are still performed deep within the surrounding woods to honor him, keeping the paranormal energy alive year after year. Tonight, a brave YouTuber named Mads Entertainment decides it's time to face the legend head-on. Armed with a camera and far too much curiosity, he explores the entire bridge, from the top to the shadowy underbelly, under the cover of night. At one point, the sound of an engine roars closer, raising his heartbeat, only for him to realize it's just passing traffic. But the real fear begins when they refuse to abandon the hunt and try speaking directly into the darkness, asking for a sign, asking for George. Moments later, they hear something. A sound drifting out of the woods, high-pitched, distant, and unsettling. They're convinced it's the voice of a little ghost girl screaming, maybe tied to the rituals rumored to have taken place out here. But to me, it almost sounds like an animal. Or at least, I hope that's all it is. Here's the sound again. Tell me, what do you think this eerie voice in the darkness belongs to? Paranormal or something natural?
Okay,
The team from Casa Sovereign Natural is investigating a home said to contain a malignant demon, and this terrifying clip shows exactly why they were called in. At first, they only think they see something.
Vocês escutaram?
Killer?
Por Deus, sabe que mexeu aquela
O quê?
cadeira, cara?
Quem que mexeu?
Por Deus do céu que mexeu, senhor.
Mexeu o Killer?
Mexeu a cadeira, por Deus do céu.
A shadow, a shape, a presence lingering just outside their flashlight's reach.
Meu Deus do céu, tio.
Mexeu ali, cara.
Mano, por Deus do céu que mexeu, cara.
O Killer?
Mexeu a cadeira.
O Dair viu?
Por Deus do céu, cara. Ela mexeu, cara. Há pouco, mas mexeu. Por Deus do céu, senhor. Não pegou na câmera, você tava gravando isso aí, não?
Não,
Deus do céu,
claro que tô
cara.
gravando.
But then, that something makes itself known.
Meu Deus do céu! Filho da puta, cara, que é isso, cara?
When they finally gather the courage to step inside, the activity instantly grows more aggressive.
Do céu, cara! Sai, sai, sai! Meu Deus do céu, tio! Viu que bateu lá, cara? Bateu lá!
Doors slam, objects shift. The air feels thick, heavy, like whatever is in that house does not want them there. You can hear the fear in their voices as they search the rooms, trying to figure out what they're dealing with.
Cara, a porta do guarda-roupa, cara. Você escutou um erro, cara.
They think it's over. They think they've escaped. But the demon isn't done with them yet.
Caralho, mexeu a cadeira de novo, escutou? Escutou que meu Deus do céu. Cara, arrastou essa cara, vamos embora. Vamos embora, pelo amor de Deus, pelo amor de Deus, vamos rezar, cara.
Just when the tension breaks, it strikes one last time, delivering the kind of scare that feels personal, like it's warning them never to come back. In my opinion, there's something genuinely evil in this house. You don't just see it, you feel it. Our apps might just be the closest thing we have to detecting the paranormal, and this clip, published by QTube in August of 2021, takes that idea to a whole new level. These guys are completely freaking out after spotting something sitting in a chair inside their own home. Not with their eyes, but through an app filter. One chair shows up perfectly normal, nothing unusual. But the chair right beside it? It lights up red hot with energy, like something invisible is parked there, watching them.
Guys, my place is haunted.
Look,
this chair is freaking out right now, and this chair isn't.
Look, this one's fine, but you can go on this chair. Someone is sitting on this chair, guys.
Dude, I'm actually...
There's someone sitting there, dude.
They're convinced someone, or something, is sitting in that chair. So the question becomes, has technology finally advanced enough for us to see the energies around us? Or is the app simply glitching in the creepiest way possible? Personally, I think they should bring a thermal camera into that room. If there really is a presence sitting there, the thermal lens might reveal more than any app ever could. Strange noises have been plaguing Peter's house ever since he moved in just 2 weeks ago. And in December of 2009, he finally posts the footage he captured. Footage he admits he was brave enough to record after things escalated again the night before. The clip begins with loud clashing echoing through the dark hallway as Peter switches on his camera. He flicks on the light and peers downstairs, and the noise instantly stops. His heavy footsteps on the wooden stairs sound almost intentional, like he's trying to scare off whatever might be waiting below. But when he reaches the bottom, the room is empty. At least, empty to us. Peter heads back upstairs, turns the light off, and walks toward his room. That's when he hears it. A sudden slam from downstairs, followed by slow, deliberate footsteps creeping up the staircase. Each step grows heavier, closer, as Peter stands frozen. Then, out of the darkness, a single shoe comes flying straight at him. He rushes forward to confront whatever threw it, but there's nothing. No figure on the stairs, no one in the hallway, just silence and shadows. As many commenters perfectly put it, this man should be sleeping with every light in the house on. A crumbling cemetery in New Orleans appears to be crawling with restless residents, at least if this eerie sighting is to be believed. At the 18-second mark, the camera passes a stone slab lying on the ground, looking freshly removed, almost like something recently climbed out. Then, just 20 seconds later, a mysterious figure, using the filmer's exact words, is seen walking between the tombstones. Now, this could just be one of their friends wandering around. But if it isn't, then stumbling across a random person in an abandoned cemetery in the dark is unnerving to say the least. Something about the way the figure moves, slow, silent, and half-hidden, makes the moment feel wrong. They try to capture the figure on video again, but it's gone. No footsteps, no breathing, no silhouette disappearing behind a grave. Just emptiness. With nothing else to chase and their nerves wearing thin, they decide to leave. Never quite sure if they filmed a living person or something else roaming the cemetery that night. What exactly is going on here? There has got to be a story behind this image, because whatever we're looking at is straight-up nightmare fuel. The horror in this picture hits you right away. The shape, the posture, the way it seems to be lurking, waiting, almost aware of the camera. If I saw this thing in real life, I'd be running the other direction, and that's a promise. This image has been blowing up across the Spanish-speaking YouTube community. I first came across it on a popular channel that specializes in paranormal content, and honestly, I had to share it. It's a perfect example of how different cultures create their own brand of horror, creatures, legends, and visuals that are unlike anything else. But here's the real question. What is happening in this image? And more importantly, is this a genuine sighting or just a very convincing special effect? I'm curious. What do you think is behind this creepy moment? There's a tech channel from Singapore called Computer Guys, and one of their videos is unexpectedly terrifying. Strange activity keeps getting captured on tape in one of the last places you'd ever expect to be haunted. A plain, empty, nondescript server room. 2 different security cameras show the same thing, no one anywhere in sight, yet the door swings open on its own. The crew jokes that a ghost did it, but the weirdness doesn't stop there. Shortly afterward, some IT workers walk in to troubleshoot, running programs and checking cables as if the room is having technical problems. The moment they leave, the paranormal activity starts right back up. Minutes later, a laptop on the table suddenly flips itself open just before another worker enters to inspect the equipment. He doesn't notice anything strange. Everything looks perfectly normal. And then things take a hard turn into the paranormal. A ghostly figure appears on the floor, caught clearly on camera, right before the camera violently falls over. Some paranormal investigators claim that electricity attracts supernatural energy. So if that's true, a high-voltage server room would be the perfect place for a restless spirit to hang out. But then there's the whispering at the end. It feels a little too dramatic, almost staged. Enough to make you wonder whether this ghost sighting is genuine or just a cleverly edited piece of tech horror. What do you think? Real paranormal event or a spooky fabrication?